So this is an update on my propagating station. I'll link this plate down below. It was getting a little bit ridiculous, and this is just due to a lot of fallen leaves that when I transplanted my succulents, there already have been a lot that I had to throw out. They rotted and they just didn't make the cut. But as much as possible, I try to keep them in here. And what I do first is I dip it in root powder. And again, everything that I'm using, and even including this plate, will be down below. This is actually one of my son's plates. This is like a toddler plate. And it works beautifully. And this is my solution right here. It is not just water. Again, everything I'm using will be down below. And so far, it's not 100% that I'm getting, that they're still intact and alive and maybe still have the hope of it growing. However, I've noticed that this has started to get in some roots. This is the first time ever I have tried to propagate leaves, succulent leaves, with no stem and just one leaf, and there's some growth. And what I made a mistake before was it was too much water. And also when it starts to look kind of off like this or like soft like that, see, like with this one, you can already see some roots starting to grow. But before, when I would just feel them like this and it's soft or kind of close to in between the consistency of like mushy or something, like harder than mushy, but like, I don't know how to say it. Like it's a lot softer than if it's attached to a plant. And when I feel it like that, or when it starts to shrivel up like this, or even like this, I would toss it before. And there's a little bit of root growth there. I don't know. Let me see if it's going to focus. Oh no, it's not focusing. That teeny tiny thing right there, the red stuff, that's some root growth. So anyway, I would have tossed it out, and I did my research. I'm a part of, if not all, a lot of plant groups on Facebook, and just watching people do it, sharing their experience. People that have already asked a question, I just read all the answers and the shares and the comments and things like that, and just learning from my mistakes. Because before, what I would have done was just soak this in water, all of it, and just make sure there's always like water sitting in here, and that was really drowning them. So, I just didn't really know what I was doing. And so I did it that way, and it didn't really work. And also when they were shriveling up like this, I thought they were dying. So I would toss them out every time. Basically, if you want to propagate with a leaf, I would suggest the bigger the better. Like these are, desperate attempts, but if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well, I tried. I also have not just used regular water. I use, the water I use actually is reverse osmosis, because our land is heavily soaked in, I forgot what mineral it is, but you cannot drink it. And the salt content that we have for our soft water is very high due to the amount of the percentage amount of the minerals that we have on our property is very high, way higher than, the companies have told us like it should be this way, and then it's actually higher. So I can't use our soft water. It has a really high sodium content. So I use reverse osmosis, and I also use, I use, again, everything is going to be down below just because I don't want to like say something and it's wrong. All the stuff that I added in this water will be down below. And I know it's like getting floaties. because it's not just regular water. And what I do is I mist it once a day, and that's it. I don't saturate it. I misted this a few hours ago, and if you could see, it's already pretty dry. Yeah, except for like a little bit of like droplets over here. And that's all I have been doing, and just be very, very patient. I try not to like overly examine this, because due to my head trauma, I have become a lot more on the obsessive side. If that makes sense. I've endured multiple head traumas, and a lot of head traumas actually in the past few years. And what I have noticed is that in 2019, there was so many in just a span of 12 months that I just kind of noticed I become extremely obsessive at certain things, not everything, but at certain things. And then it's hard for me to like not really let go. So with that, and I was also trying to propagate, and I think it just, that also really was like killing everything. So I told myself that I just missed it. And another side effect of my head trauma is that if I don't see it, I don't remember a lot of times. So I just literally turn around, walk away, and I don't think about it. And I put this in a spot that is out of the way, so I don't really think about it very much. I don't really get to wonder about it very much. And because of that, I think that's why it's thriving. I feel like if you naturally have an obsessive personality, I would suggest you get something to distract yourself, because that was the reason I believe got me to not to have a successful outcome in propagating leaves, because I would just overly do everything. Either overwater it or just toss it out when it's starting to sprout, and because I didn't know. And just make all the bad calls, because you're not really thinking straight. You're not thinking logically or rationally. You're thinking emotionally. So that would be a tip for me. It has been a really slow process for this, and this one is still a little wet right there, but it's very rewarding. You can see the first part that I'm trying to propagate the leaves. So far, I don't have a success story in regards to I put it in a pot and it's now a 1-inch or a 3-inch plant. I haven't gone that far yet. I'm hoping that will be me one day. And my husband has done that successfully. I have not yet. And I guess it's, with him, he has more patience when it comes to the gardening situation. And I'm better with seed, which is weird because it still also needs like time and patience. But I feel like with seed, because I see, and I've grown seeds since I was in the first grade, I kind of noticed that I know what to expect. And with this is like really my first time to see success right here, like root growth. So now the next time, or currently when I'm doing this, or when I actually put this in a pot with dirt and all that stuff, the next time I start everything from a leaf after I've successfully done that, I don't believe it's going to be as hard for me to do, because I already know what's coming. So I think that's where the obsession comes from. Again, everything is going to be linked down below in the description section as usual. I hope you enjoyed my video update on my propagation station. It's very simple. I'm not, as good and as advanced as other people have. And I believe experience really can make you understand what you need and what you should do and how to do everything. And that's why certain propagation stations are just really made kind of like in a machine kind of sense, because they know what to do. They know what step 1, step 2, step 3, and they know the duration in every step. With me, it's my first time ever, so I'm really hoping maybe in a year or two my propagation station would be a lot, maybe, I don't know, leveled up in a sense. I don't know. I don't know what to say. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this and I hope you follow the journey with my propagating the succulent leaves. I hope you hit the like button, and if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you're notified every single time I do upload a new video. Again, everything that I'm using, including the plate, will be down below. This plate is super cheap. Super duper cheap. So if you're interested in doing that, I feel like this is the best to do it because it has, it's not completely flat. So it won't be dripping if there is excess water on the sides. And it's just the perfect size for me for now. I don't really need a super huge spot for it. I think if I were to start a new plate with a newer batch and, you know, more leaves, that would be great too. And this is perfect for me. So everybody's different, and some people might like something smaller or bigger. That's up to you. But this is how I'm doing it for me. And so far, it's most of them are still here. I would say I have thrown out about 5%, so that's really great for me because usually I would this plate would have been cleaned and put away, and there would be no leaves here left. Any kind of tips, support, advice, anything, let me know down below. And this is under a little bit of plant light, not really directly in it, under it, for, I would say, minimum of 12 to 14 hours a day. Thanks, guys. And again, if you want to talk about gardening, you want to talk about propagation, you have any tips, ideas, suggestions, everything is welcome. So do let me know down below. If I'm doing something right, let me know. If I'm doing something wrong, please, please, please let me know. I want all of this to be successful. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys in the next update.